Last time. The Tale of Two Cities. The heat of battle raged as our party fought fiercely against a surge of attacking cultists, while the city of Elturel crumbled into chaos. Panic reigned on the rooftops as Lulan was frozen by memories of a painful past. Aslan and Terran, though bravely flanking a group of Fists of Bane, were caught and fell unconscious under their concentrated assault. Beowulf's pursuit of the elusive Reaper, Ravengard's calm and precise striking, Salvatore and Vishar's defense of the injured innocents, all coalesced into a frantic struggle for control before High Hall. And just when hope seemed lost, Ravengard's Flaming Fist soldiers held the line, and the Hell Riders finally arrived as they charged in to turn the tide of this battle. The cultists broke and fled, their retreat marked by desperate cries and a singular focus towards the eastern gate. Their haste, so reckless and filled with terror of their own, spoke of an odd urgency. Despite the party's relentless chase hurling bolt and spell, the panic-stricken faces and cryptic words of the fleeing cultists hinted at a mystery yet to be revealed. Then, in an instant, everything changed. A deafening boom. The sky turned black, and the companion transformed into a nightmarish abyssal mass of empty black, sending Elturel into a freefall of destruction and despair. Towering flames, shattering stones, and the city's anguished groans filled the air as the party's chase turned into a fight for their very lives. Survival became the only goal as they dodged the death throes of a city consumed by hellfire. In the end, they escaped through the gate, only to watch in disbelief as Elturel sank beneath the ground, chained and pulled into the earth by some infernal force. Then, standing at the precipice of a new reality, the party encountered Rhea Mantlemorn, fallen upon the ground in grief-stricken anguish. The very Hell Rider that had first given chase after the fleeing cultists from High Hall. A loud choking sound from the pit, as well as Lauren Singsteel, crawled on all fours out of the wreckage. The bard from Shiara's market was anything if not dramatic. Did not receive as warm a welcome as Rhea. But as tensions flared and alliances were cautiously formed, they were all bound together by the shared goal of finding survivors and eventually seeking shelter in Baldur's Gate to the west. Yet amidst the devastation and the formation of new bonds, a sense of unease lingered. A choking wave of hellish energy sensed by Salvatore, the cryptic words of the cultists, the suspicions surrounding the bard. These elements wove a thread of mystery that tugged at the edges of understanding. With Elturel gone, swallowed by darkness and fire, the party was left to grapple with the magnitude of their loss and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The weight of their choices, the courage of their actions, and the haunting echoes of a city's fall hung heavy in the air as they looked forward to an uncertain fate. Future. And thus brings us to the present moment, where the first rays of morning light pierce the horizon, casting a gentle glow on the faces of our weary adventurers. The air is filled with the soft rustling of grasses and the distant murmur of the river Chianthar, a stark contrast to the thunderous cacophony of destruction that still echoes violently in your memories. Stirring from fitful slumbers, you find yourself surrounded by the 15 or so refugees you rescued from the crater, their faces etched with a mix of gratitude and lingering fear. Nearby, Rhea Mantlemorn, the newly appointed Hellrider, sits alert and watchful, her eyes scanning the landscape, while Lauren Singsteel, the bard, strums a somber melody that captures the mood of the camp. Oddly, he seems to have saved a lute, though there are marks of scorched wood upon it. It's not quite in tune, but the mood is presented with an air of ease all the same. The taste of cold rations is a reminder of the simple reality of survival you are faced with head-on, as the smell of damp earth mingles with the distant acrid scent of brimstone from the east, where the blackened crater marks the grave of a city that once stood proud. As you shake off the remnants of sleep, the responsibility of the day weighs heavily upon you. A journey to Baldur's Gate lies ahead, a path fraught with uncertainty and danger, but also hope. The world may have changed overnight, but the determination in your hearts burns as brightly as ever. The road awaits, dear adventurers, and with it, a new chapter in your tale.
DM, about how far away would you say we spent the night from the city?
You probably would have gone relatively close, like definitely within eyesight, because it was already late at that time and the refugees needed tending to. So you could probably walk there in less than an hour's time.
Oh yeah, no, we did take a long rest, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that.
Before we do that, last time, Taryn and Aslan both went unconscious.
Oh, no.
This is a good time to go over how the injury system works.
Okay.
So, when you go unconscious, you get 1 count. When you take damage from your wound threshold and then you fail by a certain amount, you get an injury count. So, Taryn went down once, and I believe Aslan went down twice. So, what we do for this, I'm going to send you some tables.
No, I even forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. A lot happened. All right, Taryn, I'm going to send you this table. So basically what you do is you count how many injuries you have after the encounter. So you have 1. With 1 injury, you have severity 1. So you roll on the severity 1 table. Whenever this happens, I'll basically be giving you guys this stuff, so you don't have to worry about like knowing the ins and outs. Just explaining it for whatever's sake. So you're rolling a 4d6. So on that table, I want you to press that roll button, and then we'll see what you come up with. All right, so you got a 6. Ooh, escalate. You gain 1 level of severity. Reroll for severity 2.
Okay.
Oh, I got you a new table on that.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Okay.
So severity, the different severities are different tables. Okay. You got a minor injury. So you are going to make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Okay. And how do I get back? What's the code to get back to my character? T or?
On the top left of the screen, you should see your character portrait. If you click on that, it'll open up your character sheet.
I'm all zoomed in to the map. I see nothing but the map.
You can like drag the map or and put it off to the side.
If you left click on the map, you should be able to drag it down, and then you should see what's behind that.
I don't see anything behind it.
Uh-oh.
I can scroll out.
Yeah, like I dragged it down towards the left, and
I see. I think I see what's going on here.
Yeah, so if you left click, you can drag the entire window. If you middle mouse click, you can drag the map inside the window. So you're going to want to left click so that you drag the entire window down.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then what you can also do is you can click that up arrow on the top right of the map window, and then that puts it in the background. And then you'll see all the stuff above it.
Great. And you said a Constitution save?
Constitution saving throw with advantage.
With advantage.
Yeah, and that's under the chat window. Okay, there we go.
Oh, well, how about that?
20. All right.
It spontaneously heals itself.
So
I feel like if you roll 2 20s on advantage, that should give you just a free level. I don't know.
Free level,
oh my god.
All right. And then the other thing with injuries, depending on what type of damage it was that got you the injury count, excuse me, you roll on that type of injury. So if you get multiple injury counts, but they're from different injury damage sources, you would make a different check for each severity. All right, so I'm going to send you the bludgeoning injury roll, so you can roll on that.
Yeah. I mean,
Goodness.
Wait a minute.
Severe bruising.
Oh, wait, no, you got a 20. Sorry, you don't have to roll on that. Okay, so the 20. You received a broken nose. It is painful, but doesn't have any adverse effect. Any magical healing mends your nose, although it may heal crooked if it is crooked when the healing is applied.
It's okay. It's a good look.
So you would have been able to heal that during the long rest if anyone has any healing available.
Could I apply my lay on hands?
All right.
Give him a point. And...
For sure. So that heals your broken nose, Taryn.
Thanks, guys.
Although I will ask Taryn, would you consent to me healing you?
Hashtag consent. Sure. And actually, I'd say, I mean, this is something you'll get back after we long rest, right? Because if it's no... Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Then yeah, that'd be great.
I would absolutely love to give you some healing.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
I got you.
Lulin makes a poultice and then takes it and gestures for him to put it on his face.
He nods appreciatively, takes it, and a little dab will do him. Thank you, Lewin.
She nods her head, yes, and smiles.
So Aslan has to roll on severity 2. He rolls a 16, so he has a medium injury, determining the injury with a Constitution saving throw, just a straight saving throw. He rolls a 21. He gets a broken nose as well. So, do we want to heal that, or do we want to leave it for him to decide if he wants to keep it?
Leave no. Yeah, I'd absolutely offer my healing abilities to anybody who needed them.
Okay, excellent. So, no lingering injuries or anything like that. But that's basically how the injuries work. So it's at the end of an encounter, you just roll on a severity based on how many count you have, and then that determines what you roll to check for what type of injury. And the types of injuries you can get can be pretty minor, as you can see.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Fairly simple. Pretty big learning session we have here. So does everybody have the map open and available?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do token. So this is kind of the token I use to say where your party is. So we're using a hex right now. The traveling kind of works with hexes. Right now, pretty easy. Each hex is basically a day's worth of travel. So after 8 days, essentially at a normal pace, you should be able to make it to Baldur's Gate. So we can go over the traveling rules now. So the way traveling works is one person is the travel lead. So amongst yourselves, go ahead and decide who will be the travel lead. The travel lead is the person that kind of determines the limits of the traveling. What I mean by that is you say, okay, we're going at normal pace or we're going at fast pace. You say what your destination is or what direction you want to move. And
It's very Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah.
I've never played that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have a freaking section that is pretty much like the Oregon Trail right now, and oh my gosh, Oregon Trail is devastating.
Okay, yeah, I'll just take your word for it. Okay, so
Severe injury. You have dysentery.
Yes. Yeah.
okay, yeah, so you choose destination and speed. I determine the terrain difficulty based on the map. You are grassland, so we'll be using grassland for whatever stuff. And then everyone that's traveling gets to choose what activity they want to perform part of the traveling, and I'll go over that. And then traveling helps to determine what type of campsite you make, and different stuff like that. So, as an example, you start the day out by waking up, and you have to break camp and then make breakfast. So breaking camp will take about an hour along with cooking breakfast, and that requires half of a day's ration. So I will be marking that down on you guys, as well as the travel lead can keep track of this, but I think as long as you're comfortable, you can. Otherwise, I will log it for now until we kind of get familiar with it. Okay. So, who wants to be the travel lead?
Sorry, Nomad, point of order. When you said breaking camp along with making breakfast takes an hour, does that mean both of those activities take an hour, or like 1 hour each?
Both of them together takes up the hour. So you're breaking camp while you're making breakfast. Yep.
Cool.
Good question. All right, so who wants to be travel lead?
Well, I'd ask if anybody was very familiar with the area and had traveled between Baldur's Gate and Elturel before.
I've never been outside of Elturel.
I have. I traveled from Baldur's Gate to Elturel to be here for the event.
Yeah.
So you're familiar. I've only been on the very outskirts of Elturel and gone from the countryside to Elturel and back. I'm not very well traveled outside of that.
Yeah, I don't mind being lead on this.
All right.
Thank you.
Unless someone's got some more, like some rangery skills.
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty good at carrying things, moving things, and healing people.
Sure.
And outside of that,
I mean, I guess I might be a little good with it, but not in this area now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll lead that.
Okay.
It's gonna be slow going anyway, guys. We got refugees in tow.
Oh, Taryn,
that's true.
What is your destination?
From what I've heard, Baldur's Gate is the place to be. They're be accepting some refugees, are more likely to. Let's first start maybe at Fort, going towards Fort Morning Lord there. I don't think we need to commit to the entire trip until we know. Well, or at the very least, we need to resupply. Maybe Fort Morning Lord will have heard something. And do I know much about Fort Morning Lord?
So the thing about Fort Morning Lord is it is on the other side of the river.
Side of the river.
Yeah, and you're on the north side.
That was a road. Okay.
Nope, that is River Chianthar. Yep.
Well, I could have just looked at the map and read and deduced that. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I don't suppose there's any bridges in the area.
No, it's a large river. Basically, that's kind of the cool thing about Baldur's Gate. It is a mercantile port city for a reason, because the River Chianthar basically blocks off all travel. Everything kind of has to go through Baldur's Gate, so they do a lot of heavy taxes and stuff like that for getting in and out and through.
Yeah. Was there a bridge that connected the south and the north between the river at Elturel?
At Elturel, no. I remember seeing the city map. I don't think there was.
Okay.
A lot of it happened by boat on the river.
Got it.
So, but I'm also looking, that is a long haul for some refugees who probably don't have rations with them. What about Triel? What do I know about Triel?
Triel is up real quick.
Because my concern is that we've got many days march, very few rations. I'm not seeing, it's the plains, so we'd have to hunt for food. Mm-hmm. I assume we can get water from the river. It's a fast running river.
Yep.
So a normal thing.
One of the activities that you can perform during travel and during camp is foraging, and you can forage for food as well as water.
Okay.
So
we're talking about
Triel,
like a. Mhm.
Triel is a small village. Let's see. There's a log and boulder stockade. Locks its gates at nights. There's a few farms in the area. One thing, speaking with Rhea during the night, was she was talking about how most of the villages or civilization nearby is probably too small to take any refugees in. So like the worry about food is definitely a thing, but the refugees probably might get turned away just because there are a lot of mouths to feed. Baldur's Gate, being a metropolis, would definitely be able to take refugees in.
Great.
That was her argument.
Great. And as lead, I might even try to push ourselves to get back to Baldur's Gate because I don't think I want to spend much time in the villages.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is more of like a travel activity question, but is it clear what the able-bodiedness of our refugee group looks like?
Some of them definitely have injuries, but others seem well enough. A lot of that was taken care of during the rest, so all the people that needed to get bandaged up and everything is fine. Most of them
They're all mobile, though?
Yeah, most of them seem able to walk. Some are probably limping. None need to get carried, but it's not going to be super fast going.
Okay.
But that's more... I don't think we really need to do any modifiers for the refugees just because it doesn't make sense gameplay-wise. You know what I mean? I don't want to slow you guys down and then have to take a whole month to get there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're going to follow the river. I mean, do I know of any lore or any survival kind of things about this area, things to avoid, things to try to veer towards?
Okay. So you are going through the wilderness, but there is enough there's enough boats going up and down the river between Elturel and Baldur's Gate and maybe even further in that a lot of the animals and wildlife maybe aren't so frequent in this area, but it is still wilderness, so there still is a chance of encountering things. It's grassland, so normal like grassland wildlife as well as, in the D&D universe.
Sure.
Nothing super pressing. You might encounter the odd goblin tribe. This might be around.
That's good. That's good. I mean, just the general thing
like
is good. I don't want to ruin too many surprises
maybe
there.
wolves and stuff like that. But.
Yeah. And is there? I guess we'll find out. But is there a chance to offload these refugees onto like a large skiff type thing? Maybe that kind of boat comes by. I don't know how calm the river is in some parts.
Yeah, so that's definitely a possibility. You don't know exactly how willing such a boat might be to stop, just because there's not like a dock along the river or anything like that.
Right.
But boats do travel up and down. If you stay close enough, they can see you. The only thing that makes you kind of question that was when the river sunk into the crater, it definitely sent a bunch of waves and kind of changed the river. You see its elevation is kind of down. But it's quickly kind of getting back there because it does connect to the sea.
Right. All right. Well, we'll make haste, or not haste. We'll make slow plodding progress towards Baldur's Gate.
Okay, so you want to move at a slow pace?
The river.
There's slow, normal, or fast.
So, and what kind of fatigue will that put on the refugees? Or are we saying that doesn't really matter?
So the pace kind of determines what modifiers apply to the activities you choose. So, that being said, let's see here.
We're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
okay.
6, 7.
So, if you move at a slow pace, you can make some of your rolls with advantage. And then you can pretty much do whatever you want. If you move at a normal place, everything's kind of made normal. Except for drawing a map, hunting and foraging, and sneaking is made at disadvantage. And then at a fast pace, everything's made at disadvantage, and then there's some that you can't do, such as sneak. So if you're moving fast, you cannot sneak.
Right.
Different stuff like that.
Yeah, I asked the team, or the party. I think we should stick off at just a normal pace. Let's see how that feels for the refugees. How we get our legs under it, how we're doing on foraging. We can always pick up or slow down the pace from there. We're about 8 days. If 1 hex is 1 day, is that what we said?
Yeah, 1 hex is basically 1 day.
Yeah, so we're about 8 days out. And I guess going fast would have that, or time and a quarter.
So moving at a normal pace is 3 miles per hour, a slow pace is 2 miles per hour, and a fast pace is 4 miles per hour. So you're not quite doubling it, but yeah, you would definitely get there sooner. You'll be able to cover more ground in a day.
About 5 days or so. Okay. Guys, I recommend we head out just at a normal pace, see how that feels, and adjust as we get into it.
All right.
Thoughts on that?
I appreciate and respect the amount of research you've done to make this decision, and I'm fully with you.
So let's get going. I hear you loud and clear.
You have my sword.
Right. So, and then the next part. I need a marching order.
I'll be in the back.
Lulin will follow second.
I'm sure
Well, I believe that I had some unfinished business with Mr. Steelstring. Oh, what was his name?
Excuse me, you keep getting that wrong. It's Sing Steel. Sing Steel.
Sang Steel. I appreciate the correction, thank you, and I apologize.
Oh, no worries. Just try to pay attention.
You mind if I join you on this walk? I promise not to take my sword out this time.
Oh, well, certainly the company would be lovely. Care for a tune?
Thank you. I think I do.
Maybe later.
Excellent. I apologize for
first,
the...
let me ask. Can you talk and play?
I think I could manage.
And guys, might I recommend, we're still, I got a lot of chaos around us. I'd love to not draw more attention to us than necessary. So maybe hold off on the music and singing for a while till we need a morale boost.
Fine.
Salvatore just salutes and gets in line next to the lute player.
Right.
All right.
And I want to query the team as well, and just sort of ask if anyone. I know I'm quite a perceptive character. I'd like some perception at the lead and in the rear, or some survival skills. Anyone who's proficient in those types of things.
Lulin.
Great, Luna. Would you like to lead or bring up the rear?
I can lead.
Okay.
I'm also pretty good with survival skills. I've learned quite a fair share of them, so I have no problem taking the back.
Okay, I wouldn't mind taking the back. I think we need perception more than anything else. I want to see what's coming, and then when survival hits, when we need those skills, maybe if you're in the middle somewhere, equidistant.
All right, that seems fair.
All right.
I
other?
prefer to just be in the middle of the group so I can react to whatever is needed on either side.
Perfect. Okay. Anyone have animal handling?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Lulin, wonderful. Let's build that trust. This is excellent. Okay, Lulin, go ahead and lead us off. I'll bring up the rear. I think that's our marching order. Do we have that?
All right.
Okay, so we got Lulin in front. Not one. Okay, there we go. So we got Lulin in front, and then Beowulf's in the rear. Who's second?
Vishara will be second.
And then remember we have Aslan. Aslan's not going to be doing anything in this session, but he still around. Okay, so who's going to be third?
I'll go third. Salvatore.
Okay. Salvatore. That leaves Taryn. Okay. Lulin,
Yeah,
Vishara,
Taryn's in the
Salvatore.
rear.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like fifth and he's sixth because we're like kind of both in the rear, but like he's a little bit more behind me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we'll pass on there. Got it. All right, so that is the marching order. Now, travel happens in 2 legs with a break in between. So you made breakfast, so you used half of a ration there. And then we do the first travel leg. And the first travel leg can be between 3 or 5 hours, as determined by the travel lead. You can only travel for 8 hours in a day without suffering the possibility of exhaustion. You can do a forced march to travel beyond 8 hours, but then you run the risk of gaining exhaustion, where everybody has to make a Constitution saving throw every hour that you continue traveling. So the first travel leg between 3 to 5 hours, and then you take a midday break, which you can take 1 to 2 hours. And then you can join up for the second travel leg, which can last the remaining of the time. You can decide to do a forced march at that time. At the end of the traveling, everyone that performed the activities of keep watch or scouting kind of use roles to determine what type of campsite you make. So keep that in mind. If you're keeping watch and if you're scouting, you contribute to finding a campsite.
Okay.
All right, so how long do we want to travel for the first travel leg?
Let's get a good start on it. You said 2 to 3 hours?
3 to 5.
3 to 5. Let's start off strong. Let's do 5.
Okay, and how long for the midday break? 1 or 2 hours?
We can take a 2-hour break.
And the second leg, how many hours? 3 hours gets you to 8, or you can do more on a forced march.
And want to set up camp during the day, especially with the refugees and such. So is 8 o'clock still daylight?
Time would it? So it's in summer. So sunrise is 4 a.m. So it's 5 in the morning right now.
5 in the morning, so we go till 10.
You can
then
travel for
till
16 hours. Or wait. Yeah, you have 16 hours of the day to use because the last 8 are for long rest.
For sleeping. Okay. And that's not going to put too much of a strain on refugees, or do we play it by ear, or are we not going to that level?
For these purposes, let's just keep the refugees as role play. I won't have them functionally, just because I think that's a bit too much. Yeah, so don't worry about the refugees.
All right.
Okay, let's maximize our first day.
All right.
So let's just do a 1-hour break, and will that contribute to any fatigue?
For the party,
it's
yes.
all normal. Say again?
Oh, for the midday break, 1 hour? Nope, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
All right, and then the second leg, how many hours?
Maximize that one too.
So you want to use the full 16?
I think so.
Okay.
Could I have another quick question? Sorry.
That won't cause any additional fatigue or anything. Is there like a threshold?
Oh, yes,
it
definitely will. So you can travel for 8 hours in a day normally. For each hour beyond 8, then you would have to make constitution checks to see if you get exhaustion.
Got it. Okay, let's do 3 and 5 with a 1-hour break. Or, 5 and 5, 1-hour break, and then 3.
Okay, got it.
Could I ask a mechanics question really quick?
Yeah.
So did we just commit to like the full day's travel?
So we have 8 hours of travel right now, and then the rest of the time is going to be taken up with some other stuff because you have to let's see. So you are traveling
Different
first
question.
leg.
Sorry, Nomad.
Go ahead.
Different question. So like, is the process of operations like, we commit to X amount of travel time, we lock in like breaks on that, and then we begin the journey and like the role play stuff starts and all that, and then we like after the last break or whatever that we figure out what we want to do, or
So we'll do the first travel leg, and like I make my rolls. Like there's random encounters in the game and everything.
Got it.
I'll make
Yeah.
my rolls. You can always change. So like let's say we get to the second leg and you're like, you know what, I want to keep going. You can change it. You're not locked in.
okay.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'm cool with Terran's decisions, by the way. I just
Yeah,
wanted to clarify.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and anyone who isn't, just feel free to speak up.
All good.
But
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
speaking for the team,
Mhm.
if I hear no dissent.
Hey, we elected you.
Yeah, we elected you. You're our president now.
For 4 years. No.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you guys get to pick your camp activities. Share something with you. Your travel
So this is
activities,
like
I should say.
the start of the day.
It's like the
Basically.
ones in the additional systems in the Tavern League, right?
Yep. I
Yeah,
also
I have it
have a
open.
sheet on here. So I shared you guys this little story thing. You should be able to see it. That's a lot of that information. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see activities. You can draw a map. Maps are actually worth money. There's not a lot of maps, and a lot of the maps are not exactly that great. So if you want to make some money, you can draw a map. There's also driving a wagon. If you have a wagon, you can hunt and forage. You can keep watch. You can navigate. You can scout. You can sneak, track, trailblaze. All right. It's good to have a navigator because, well, first you need to know where you're going. Plus, with a navigator, you can reduce your time, as well as if you're navigating and then you fail, it could do some things like point you in the wrong direction. Grasslands, really easy. You're not going to get lost if you follow the river Chianthar. But like, let's say you're in the jungles of Chult with Tomb of Annihilation, you'll need a navigator, and then you might just like end up completely lost.
Yeah.
Then remember, keep watch and scout help with finding a good campsite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so starting at the top, Beowulf, what are you doing?
I'd like to be scouting.
Okay.
Mhm.
Lulin, what are you doing?
Foraging.
All right, Salvador, what are you doing?
This might annoy you, DM. I think what I'd really like to do is kind of get to know the people as we're kind of traveling, you know. So,
Okay.
do I have to commit to an actual action?
You don't
or,
have to. Nope. These are more guidelines. You're not
You know,
like
maybe
locked
I
into
can
these choices.
morally boost people
Yeah.
to check out with them and be like, we're gonna be okay, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely do that. Like carousing, basically. Yeah. So like these are more like you can do all these things, but if you come up with something else you want to do, you're definitely free.
All right.
Okay, and
Well,
then
I'd like to morale boost, basically.
okay. Taryn, what are you performing?
I will be keeping watch.
Okay. Vishara, what are you doing?
Shara is actually doing the same as Summer and like checking in with people and making sure they're okay, not only like physically but mentally as well.
Okay. All right, and then Aslan can navigate.
So, guys, what I would like as part of this party, we might need a scout.
Yeah, I'm scouting.
Oh, you are scouting. Okay, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Mhm.
Great.
Yep.
And Lulin, you're hunting and foraging.
Foraging.
Awesome.
Shoot. I may have made a mistake. Is it if people are going out of their way of like the safe campsite, do they need like a I don't know assistance or a backup or anything?
I mean, except for some of the things that some of them are dangerous
Yep.
or some of them are more time consuming.
Yeah, so any activity that you see in X means it's dangerous, which is basically like you're out on your own. So let's see. As Beowulf is scouting, so he is X and E. So the X means dangerous, E means exhausting. So let's say I roll a random encounter. That might come across the party. It might come across Beowulf. And then Beowulf would be there by himself. But that doesn't mean that you have to fight it. You can always run away.
Yeah.
And then exhausting. If you perform more than 2 exhausting activities on one day, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion after finishing the second one. But before looking for and setting up camp. So your chosen activity lasts for the entire travel day. That does not count for 2. It's when you make camp if you perform an exhausting activity. Like if you want to hide the camp, cut down trees and stuff and do that, as well as scouting. So if you scout and then you want to hide the camp, you're going to gain a level of exhaustion. It's an exhausting activity.
Okay.
So can I go in the Wayback Machine and go back like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Now that I know that foraging is a dangerous activity, what I'd like to do is Salvatore, as he's starting to check in on people, we'll see that Vishara is doing the same thing. It's going to clock that, try to make eye contact, but mostly focus on the fact that one of our party members is drifting off into the unknown to forage on their own, and follow them at a distance. Maybe just keep like 30 feet between them a little bit and casually start drifting off after them.
Okay, gotcha.
You
What I'm
can
going to have
forage
you
with
do...
her, just alongside, yeah.
I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you perform the scout activity, but you're scouting for Lulin, basically.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, very cool.
And I will signal to Leland so it's not just like a weird creeper status guy following her.
Lulin looks back and then just takes off.
I just want to make sure that you got some backup here. I'm not trying to be weird. You mind if I follow behind? Just keep an eye out.
Lulin shakes her head, yes.
All right, thank you.
I remember I had a player once that always got on my case because I said shake your head, yes. And he's like, no, it's nod your head. Nod your head, yes, and shake your head, no, because he kept getting messed up because he would ask question. I was like, he shakes his head, yes. And he's like, you keep messing with me because I keep thinking they're saying no. Just had to share that.
I think it's like a regional thing.
Yeah.
I work with some people from the Midwest, and they use shake your head interchangeably.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest.
No.
That makes sense.
Oh shit.
Yep, Wisconsin. Okay, excellent. So we have our activities. Okay, so you take your first leg of travel. And then I roll to see if something happens. If something happens, I can figure out exactly when by basically rolling dice and stuff like that. So that's why it's good to get these kind of figured out beforehand so I can know when during the day that the thing happens, which hour.
Cool.
You take your midday break, at which point you make lunch, and then you spend the rest of the day's ration. And then you do the second travel leg. And then during the travel legs, you need at least 1 pint of water. So on your water skins, I can have that marked and everything. And then at the end of the travel, an hour is spent finding the camp. So you have 8 days of travel and then 1 extra hour. So that's 9 hours. For the midday break. And then another extra hour for finding a camp. So that's like 10... That's 10 of... Wait, no, and then you broke... I keep getting the hiccups. Sorry. So you broke camp, hour, first leg 5 hours, midday break 1 hour, second leg 3 hours. That's 11 hours for the entirety of like usable time. So you have 5 hours for camp activities before you actually have to do your rest. So that's kind of how that works. If you do not like your campsite, you can look for another one. You just have to spend another hour. Or you can fix up your campsite. Okay, so nice, decent little intro. And are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Taryn, please make me a wisdom perception check. Beowulf and Salvatore, I need you to make me intelligence investigation checks for scouting.
Alrighty.
And then Lulin, I need you to make me the forage check, which is a wisdom survival at disadvantage. Hunting and foraging is made at disadvantage at normal pace. At slow pace, it's made. And then are you hunting for game, fruits
No.
and vegetables, or
Yes.
water? Fruits and vegetables. Okay.
And water.
I can't do both of them. It's yep. So it's either hunting for meat, hunting for the fruit, or foraging for water.
Okay, so it's fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Oh, well, we're doing real good.
Okay, so we got
hey, look, I have the bad rolls at first. I rolled a 17, but the funniest thing is it didn't go into the window, so I had to re-roll it. It hurts. I have to be careful how hard I throw the dice.
Okay, and then we need Aslan. Roll for navigation.
I mean, hey, I could have gotten worse than a 9, so at least I still did decent.
Oh, and then I'm going to give you guys your rest. Oh. Wisdom survival. Roll 11 to get a 10.
Making our way downtown.
Hoping Baldur's Gate is there.
Yeah, really hoping Baldur's Gate is there.
Okay. So you wake up, breaking camp, make breakfast, feeding the refugees as best you can, and kind of getting everybody set. Lying on the ground on the hard earth, kind of working out your muscles, a little stiff. All the same, the grass bed was comfortable enough. For the light of the stars, even with the doomsday that happened only hours previous, you each fall asleep. Gain the benefits, a long rest. And then you wake up, the morning, sunshine, and its rays in the camp. Get everybody rounded up, explain what's happening. Following the river to Baldur's Gate. And there, everyone will find sanctuary. Set out towards the west. With Taryn kind of giving a little bit of direction as to where we're going and what's happening. Aslan keeps an eye out, keeps everybody moving in the right direction. It's easy enough. Just got to follow the river. Smells of the wilderness around you, fresh air, damp green grass, invigorating you all. The wilderness. It's nice out here. Sun shining. After about 5 hours, you all drink a pint of water. get to a section by the river where looks like a good place to stop as any. Stop for an hour. You guys like to roleplay anything? Move on.
Yes. This is a little bit of a retcon, but as we were marching, I think Salvatore, marching with Sing Steel, would have liked to kind of ask a couple more questions, get to know him.
Okay, go ahead.
So, as we were walking, I guess, the first thing Salvatore would have done is said, hey, I apologize for the aggression that I showed you. Typically, I like to approach people with an open hand, but I think you could understand that things were a little complicated in the moment.
I guess. Rarely am I ever greeted with such aggression, as you say, but the apology is well taken, all the same. And he gives kind of like a deep flourish. I appreciate it. You said your name was...
Salvatore.
Salvatore.
It's nice to meet you.
Good, strong name.
I hope we can have a better relationship in the future.
Certainly. If you like song and dance, we'll get along. You like poetry, music?
I appreciate the arts as much as the next person, but I think right now the most important thing is that you are as invested in our survival as possible. Because you're tied to us now, and we're tied to you.
Oh, well, I didn't quite think about it in such terms, but yes, I do not have any money or food to my name right now. It all went down with the city. I'm just as much a refugee as all of you. So, yes, I look forward to this relationship.
Well, then I guess we're all equal. Thank you.
I suppose, yeah, equal.
Can I insight check that? It sounds like you didn't believe it. Can I insight check that?
Yeah, go
sounds
ahead.
like you didn't believe it. Yeah. What do you want me to
Wisdom
use
insight.
on? Yeah. Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah, you're not exactly certain what that was or what that meant. If there really is anything like big behind it, could just be like he's arrogant.
Salvatore personally took it as a slight, but knows better than to start dusting stuff up in such a sensitive moment. In the interest of not monopolizing, I will take a break from this and open it up to anybody else.
Okay, let's get back to it. So you spend another hour for your midday break. You spend the rest of your ration for the day and continue on. Aslan getting everybody up and ready to go. Telling them, yep, I know. Gotta make a lot of time if we want to get to Baldur's Gate in time. Set out for the second leg of travel.
While we're traveling, would it be possible to have conversations with people as we move?
Definitely. So you already made your checks for the travel day. They stand for the first and the second leg, so it's all roleplay as much as you want.
All right. Well, above the table, marching order. Vishara is ahead of Salvatore, and I think the next thing Salvatore would like to do is check in with Vishara. Back to the table. So we're marching now.
Yep.
Cool. So Salvatore's gonna kind of meander up, skip a couple of refugees, shuffle around them, and get up to Vishara. and kind of nudge them with their elbow a little bit, and be like, "Hey, we haven't really met yet. I noticed that you were checking in with some folks at the same time as me, and it seems like we might have a shared interest in looking out for people. I just wanted to say, like, hi, my name is Salvatore. It's nice to meet you." And I just kind of like put my hand out for like a greeting handshake, and yeah.
Vishara will reach out and like return her and my name is Vishara. It's nice. I'm not the only one looking out for the people who might not be as capable.
Noted. I just, the only reason I came over is because, I want to make sure that we're all looking out for each other, and, if you feel like I could help you or you could help me, I just want to keep that channel open just in case.
Keep that in mind, Salvatore. Thank you.
Are we currently kind of sitting around?
Nope, you're traveling now. You're on the second
Okay.
travel leg.
Okay.
But the marching order does have Lulan ahead of Vishara, and Salvatore just jumped up
Correct.
to Vishara, so it's kind of like the three of us are pretty close to each other.
Correct.
So Salvatore's just gonna like nod and be like, "All right, well, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will do the same of not hesitating to reach out, and we'll start to
Thanks.
turn back."
I'm sorry. Back there. I know you risked your neck to come back for me, and you didn't know that I could face that. But I had very little magic left, and I wasn't in a state where I could use it when you snapped me into my wits. I knew I would probably need it if something happened and I was saving my magic. I'm sorry.
So Salvatore is gonna, hear Lulin's beginning of her apology and stop and turn around and kind of like, keep pace with the group, of course, and kind of catch back up to Lulin and be like, while we're still walking, say, you don't have anything to apologize for. That was one of, if hands down, the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how I remember to swing a sword. I don't know what I would have done if I knew how to Misty Step, and I could have forgotten how to do that too. He wouldn't have known Misty Step. Sorry, teleport or whatever. So yeah, no harm, no foul. We're all here. We're still alive, and we got some people to look after. So
Yes.
let's get to a safe space and figure out what the next step is. We're good.
I'll try to help.
I believe you.
Thanks.
Salvatore is just gonna, left hand, clenched fist, do a quick, fist bump on Lulin's shoulder very gently, and then is gonna move back into position in the middle of the group to make sure that he can react to, any direction of threat.
Okay.
Vishara will just look at Lulu and be like, I don't blame you. That was insane. I still get messed up thinking about it.
Yeah, kind of hard for me to talk right now. I'm still, yeah. It all goes back to when I was a little girl. I don't really feel like I want to share this with everybody yet, but you seem to understand. Was very young. Papa loved the stars, and he took me for a midnight walk after everyone went to bed so that we could go watch the stars. And we were savagely attacked, and Papa fought hard, but he died, and I would have died, but my friends helped me, and they found me the next day. I didn't talk for 2 years after that. So I kind of thought things were happening all over again when we were in the square. And I couldn't move, I couldn't function. It was terrible. It's still scary.
The shark will, like, gently set her hand on Lulum's shoulder, sort of like comfortingly, and I'm sorry you had to go through that, lovely, but at least for the foreseeable future, you have more people looking out for you.
Yeah. Thanks. I better keep watching out here. Wonder if there's anyone around. I really miss my friend. You have family?
Me have no, I don't.
Oh. Yeah. I've Mama's back home. And my brother, Felix, he's home. But I haven't seen them for a few weeks. I'll have to get word to them somehow. Mama's a very powerful druid and a cleric for the Earth Mother, and I'm sure she could help if we could get word to her. And I'm sure she's worried. I know that some of my friends have gotten to her by now. Yeah. I have to talk. I have to get a word to her. Oh. How much are we gonna go?
Right. After a bit more time, 3 hours later, drives to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And your day of travel completed. You move along the River Chianthar without incident. Scanning the horizon, nothing dangerous comes up to investigate. See no boats. Everybody's kind of tired today. Consume your second pint of water. And it is time to find camp. So, we have Salvatore and Beowulf as well as Terran who will all contribute to finding the camp. We'll share another thing with all of you. Here is making camp. How this works is during the legs of travel, everyone that's scouted can make an intelligence investigation check. Anyone that kept watch can make a wisdom perception check, but with disadvantage.
Okay.
And all of these numbers add up together to determine what type of campsite you find.
Oh wait, actually, Nomad. I forgot to ask something. We did say we would go over like what trances are after a long rest.
Trances?
So like, yeah, because I've never played an elf before, so I was just like so confused on that.
So, normally a long rest requires 8 hours, with 6 of the 8 hours required to sleep. So you can like stay awake for the first 2 hours doing camp activities and then sleep for the last ones. You can sleep for 6 hours and then do 2 hours at the end where you're up, or you can split it up any which way, like 2 hours sleeping, 1 hour awake, sleeping awake, whatever. For 6 hours of the 8, you have to be sleeping. However, if you have trance, you only need 4 hours.
Okay. I
So
see.
essentially, you have 4 hours of the 8 with the other 4 hours that you can do light activity.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And then you said an intelligence check?
You scouted, so an intelligence investigation check. And then we got...
Was the investigation check with advantage or disadvantage?
The investigation check is made normally.
Okay.
Yep.
If you're in the scout roll. If you're in the
Yeah.
scout roll.
Scout,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Man, I rolled so poorly.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, so we have a total of 18. That gets you 3
Amazing.
properties. I'm going to roll 3d6. You find defendable. Okay, so you find a campsite that is defendable, comfortable, and defendable. Okay, so the only thing that your campsite is missing is that it is hidden. What these mean is comfortable means that it's reasonably protected against all but the harshest weather. So you regain, so you regain everything as normal as part of a long rest, as usual. So like you regain half your maximum hit dice, and then reduce your exhaustion level by 1 as long as your campsite is comfortable. If your campsite is not comfortable, you only gain 1/4 of your maximum hit dice, and you do not reduce your exhaustion level. So you will do everything as normal because it is comfortable. Defendable means that you have a natural barrier or otherwise difficult to reach, like if it's inside the canopy of a large tree. And then when you all go into the campsite for the first time, as well as any other approaching creatures, like if wolves come into your campsite at night, they must succeed on a DC 15 athletics check first to enter the camp. This trait may be improved on as part of a camp activity to boost that DC up to 20. Hidden means that it's removed or obscured from prying eyes, so like the wolves would not as easily know where your camp is because they can't find you. And approaching creatures need to succeed on a DC 15 intelligence investigation or wisdom perception check to find your camp. And the hidden property may be improved upon as well, part of camp activities, to boost that DC to 20. So you have comfortable and hidden.
It's if you fail the defendable, just for us to get in.
Let's see. Actually, don't have.
Because athletics ain't exactly my thing.
Oh boy.
Oh, what? I gotta look at that. I'll get back to you on that. Let's not do that for getting in. Let's just have that for other creatures trying to get in, like they just can't or whatever. They have to try again on like another round. I'll look at that because I got this stuff from a third party source. I'll have to look at that. All right. So during the travel, Lulin foraged and rolled a 9. All right. Unfortunately, Lulin, you were unable to find anything.
Okay.
Surprising, because the region is plenty of abundance.
Okay.
The DC for that is 10. 9. Do I have your... Let's see. Just want to make sure I have your modifiers correct on...
4 for survival, 3 for nature. Did I make the wrong roll?
Did you do a dexterity survival? Yeah, your survival is dexterity. Okay. So you need a wisdom survival. So actually you did get a 10 because your modifier is +5.
Okay.
Okay, so you did. You find 1 ration.
Okay.
Amazing.
Add that to your sheet. So you have 11 brought down by 1 for your use for the day. See, Vishar already got.
So, as a question,
Yeah.
with making camp, let's say if you have a comfortable environment and you do 2 exhausting activities and you gain a point of exhaustion, would you then lose that point of exhaustion upon taking a long rest?
It would be lost upon completing the long rest.
Okay.
So you would have it at the end of the second exhausting activity. So you have like 4 hours of downtime before you realistically have to actually start your long rest, or before you actually can, because you need 24 hours before you start it. So you would be exhausted for any of those activities, but then once you start the long rest, you got to complete it, and then it would go away for the next travel day.
Okay, I see. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yep. Okay. So, after another hour of time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you find your campsite. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
It seems good.
Okay. So, comfortable, defendable, and hidden. Excellent. I have these that you guys can all see. I'm keeping track of that. Activities. Got hour 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Would any of you like to perform a specific camp activity? So if you open up the making camp story that I showed you, there's a lot of different things that you can do during camp. You can attune a magic item. You can camouflage the camp. You can cook a hearty meal. You can fortify camp. You can hunt and forage. You can identify magic items, and keep watch, set up traps, rest and recuperate, tend to the wounded, or dress wounds. Dress wounds is more for or tend to the wounded is more for like wounds and injury stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a like specific skill check associated with like cooking for folks or
For cooking? Yeah, so you can cook a hearty meal. Let's see. A good night's rest is not guaranteed when camping in the wilds, and a fine cooked meal can go a long way to remedy this fact. You would make a wisdom cook's utensils check. Not have cook's utensils, you cannot do this. You need one fresh ration of food for every person that is partaking of the meal, as well as a reasonable amount of seasoning. Don't worry about the seasoning. If you provide at least 50% more fresh rations than necessary, you gain advantage on the check. If you can only provide half of the required amount, you gain disadvantage. If you succeed, each person partaking of the meal regains a quarter of their maximum hit dice. If you fail, the meal is edible but not refreshing. If you roll a total of 5 or lower, the whole meal is spoiled and its rations are wasted. You can only benefit from one hearty meal per long rest. Otherwise, you can just roleplay the cooking.
all right,
And then you just don't get like the bonus.
I only have 2 one-day rations, so that's probably not enough to feed everybody.
You have 9.
Oh, well, like total or in my inventory?
In
'Cause
Salvatore's...
I'm only
Look on
seeing
the
2.
left side.
Oh, that's
shit.
the weight.
I was looking at the wrong side. My bad. My bad.
Yep, that's the weight.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Thanks, guys.
Happens.
Okay. I'll think on it if anybody else wants to do some stuff.
Do you have cook's utensils? Not have cook's utensils, so you wouldn't actually be able to do that.
I'll keep watch, and we should figure out who's going to keep watch throughout the night. I can take first or second shift.
I can help keep watch.
Lulen would like to help as well.
Keep watch?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'll take second shift. Salvatore will sleep for a bit and then wake up when someone rouses him and follow up.
Perfect. So then we each have 4 people keeping watch, so it can be properly split up. Great.
Goodness. All right. So I want to repeat that. Who's doing the first watch? We're not to the actual resting part yet, but if you want to figure out the watch order, we can definitely do that. Remember that you need 6 hours of actual sleeping during the long rest. If you have trance, you only need 4. So for hour 1, who is keeping watch?
I'll keep watch hour 1.
Hour 2.
Is it hour 2? Can we just do 1 and 2? Because then I'll have 6, right?
Yeah, so Taryn, you can do hour 1 and 2, and then the rest sleeping.
Yep.
All right. Hour 3, who's keeping watch next? I think I
Lulen.
heard Lulen. Okay. Lulen, do you want to do hour 3 and 4?
Yes.
Okay, and then you are... I believe you have trance.
Uh-huh.
Yes, okay, so do you want to keep watch for another 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay. And then who are you waking up next?
Salvatore went second.
Okay.
I got it. Yep.
And then Salvatore can finish, or do you want to wake up someone else?
I can wake up somebody else.
Or I mean,
Vishara.
Salvatore. So Salvatore starts hour 7. Does Salvatore want to finish? You'd be able to, and then still benefit from the entire rest, or do you want to wake up someone else?
Who can I wake up without impacting their sleep, their recovery?
Ishara and Beowulf.
Beowulf volunteered first.
Okay. So we got Taryn doing the first 2 hours, Lulin doing the next 4, and then Salvatore, and then Beowulf for the sleep. You have 4 hours of downtime before you can start the long rest. Is there anything you guys would like to do? You can do camp activities, or you can also role play.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, the question's for Taryn.
Yeah, what do you got?
So you just step in and show quite a bit of leadership potential, and I was wowed by it, and I just wanted to introduce myself. Hi, my name's Salvatore.
Hey,
It's
Salvatore.
truly nice to meet you, and I extend my hand.
Oh yeah, well, like I grasp it and say we've already done some great things together. Looking forward to more of it.
I shake it enthusiastically, and I say, "What? So what brought you here? I mean, I was just here because I needed some guidance after some things happened in my past, and wanted to help some folks. So I joined the Order of the Companion, and now the Companion isn't here anymore. So that's kind of how I ended up here. What's your story?"
Yeah, I came from Baldur's Gate just to see the festivities, and happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Looking forward to getting back to Baldur's Gate and my friends.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Nothing like vacation time being cut short by tragedy. That's yeah. Your employer give you that time back, or is that it for you?
Sorry, say that again?
Will your employer give that time back to you for taking PTO, or is that just?
Well, with the state of the world, who knows what jobs are left or what jobs will be. So it's rather dynamic business that I'm in.
Oh, what business is that?
Oh, being in the know, getting to know, letting other people know. You know.
So you're in the business of information.
Yeah, information and favors.
Fascinating. What can a favor buy me?
Well, the right kind of favor can be priceless.
I'll tell you what. Salvatore gets in his pack, and he just you see him like scrounging around, and like he like a tin cup pops out of his bag, and a spoon pops out of his bag, and he finally pulls out a wooden box about like 4x4x6, and pops it open, and he has a little envelope. It opens the envelope, and inside the envelope is a little 11x6 piece of paper, and it's a handwritten letter, and that handwritten letter is from DM. Sorry, what's his name? Uldur Ravenheart.
Alder Ravengard?
Ravengard. Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
And it says, "Thank you for your interest in joining my circle of trust. I encourage you to continue your education, and when you are ready to join my circle, I would be happy to have you. Until then, please accept this token of gratuity for your patronage. And at the bottom of the piece of paper is a little ink stamp that just has his seal on it. And I give the piece of paper, or offer the piece of paper. I'm like, what do you think this would be worth? I mean, it has his handwritten response to me wanting to join his order. And you know, there's obviously, it wasn't a printer that did it, like that print and press thing that people have. Is this worth anything? It looks like he signed it.
Well, in the right hands, it could be. It's fascinating. So, Duke Ravengard wanted to enlist you into his service. Do you know what that was about?
It was more of like a fan club thing, you know. It seems like they kind of dropped off a lot. Like it was sort of like a serial, if you will. But you know, I was enthusiastic about it, and it seems like that enthusiasm was returned.
Yeah, that's great. We all have our heroes we look up to. Any other interactions with Ravengard?
No, I just saw an ad in a paper that we were given, and you know, wrote back and got this, but it does have a seal. You're saying that's not worth anything, or?
Well, depending on where Ravengard is, it could be, you know, how things become more valuable when a person passes. I hold on to it.
You know,
I hold on to it.
I wrote a few more times and never heard back, and you know, maybe if I had, I would have followed him up instead of joining the companion in Elturel. So that's fine. And Salvatore is going to kind of like shove that back in his backpack and kind of bashfully like shove it as deep as possible into a corner of his bag, maybe a little too aggressively, and just be like, well, I mean, if there is anything that you feel like you need help with, just let me know. And he's gonna kind of like edge away, kind of feeling intimidated by Terran's obvious command of secrets and stature, as Salvatore can tell.
Yeah, and Terran would like to do either some kind of check or to see if you're being coy or you really are just a simple fanboy.
Oh yeah, do it.
All right, go ahead and make a wisdom insight check. Salvatore, you can respond according to what he rolls, or you can make a check of your own.
If I want to resist, what would you want me to roll?
All right, let's do...
I think it would be deception, right?
You could do deception.
Or persuasion.
You could do charisma, deception, or wisdom, or charisma, persuasion. Either or. Deception would be if you're like trying to hide something. Persuasion would be just like, you know, being your normal self.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can roll it secretly and then let me know. You can just roll like a d20 and you can just say the result.
To roll it secretly, would I just put it in the tower?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. And then what? Okay. Perfect. Salvatore definitely seems like he's just trying to figure out what you know, and is genuinely disappointed that you didn't have like a connection or explanation or know-how on embracing the value of this letter that he got from somebody that he really respected.
Showed you his toy and you threw it on the ground.
Why would you do that, man? Like, that's
Feelings are hurt. My feelings are super hurt right now.
I perceive that much as well, and say, as he does that, say, "Hey, listen, I know a guy who can maybe appraise that for us once we get to Baldur's Gate. I just don't have any inside knowledge."
I appreciate that, and I didn't mean to make a scene. Frankly, I shoved that letter into my backpack pretty hard. It might be destroyed now. So, so thank you. Maybe we can talk about it more later. But yeah, thanks.
Sure thing.
Did I hear them talking?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Lulin notices your disappointment and comes up to you. My father was a very famous paladin in this area. He's very well known. Our last name is Quillerath. I think he would have thought that was very special.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
Quillerath.
Quillerath, yes. Quillerath.
What a fantastic name.
Hey. My name's Lulin.
Lulin.
Yeah. It's Lulin.
Well, that's also a fantastic name. It's a pleasure to meet you finally, Lulin.
Yeah. What's
My
your
name is Salvatore.
Salvatore. I'll try to remember that. I'm not very good with names.
I've been told very recently that I am also not good at names. But I will still try my best to remember yours. And I hope I have many reasons in the future to remember it. Have you met, and I'll point to Taryn, who I was definitely just standing next to, and have you met Taryn?
No, I don't think he likes me very much.
Well, let's fix that right now. I'm gonna say, Taryn, you had a chance to meet this person yet?
Oh, I've had a chance to spend some time with her in proximity.
Let's make proximity familiar. and I beckon Taryn in and point to Lulin and beckon her out as well, and be like, Lulin, this is Taryn. And I point to Taryn. Taryn, point back to Lulin. This is Lulin. You two know each other now. And then Salvatore just kind of like steps back a little bit, lets them greet.
Yeah, I nod acknowledgement and say, Lulin, I appreciate you taking point on the party.
Yeah.
And I just kind of just sort of walk away politely, going on about my camping duties.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And Lulin makes the smell of a skunk go past his nose.
Dang.
Lulin, or Taryn, as you walk away as politely as you can while still, taking your leave, suddenly this smell assaults you. There's a skunk nearby. It's like right there. You look down at your feet. Did I just step in it? There's not a skunk around. You can't see it, but you certainly smell it.
I go foraging for skunkweed.
And Lulin just starts making a campfire again with druidcraft.
Right. You know, maybe I could try to camouflage the camp as a camp activity.
I was gonna say Vishara is gonna try and camouflage the camp.
Oh, could we technically like help each other then, or?
While all this is going on.
Yeah, you can help each other.
Yeah, so then I'd be helping Vishara with camouflaging the camp.
Okay. Beowulf and Vishara are camouflaging.
I like to help with that too. It's kind of that's my jam.
Okay. Let's see. That is a focused activity, so it has D and F as things on. So D means it is distracting.
I gotta find that.
Yep, D is distracting. So while you perform a distracting activity, you can't pay much attention to your surroundings, and you suffer a -5 penalty to your passive perception score. F being focused, most activities can be performed by several players. However, focused activities can only be done by 1 or 2 simultaneously. For a focused activity, you only use the higher of the 2 check results to determine their effect.
All right, then I'll let Taryn help Vishara then.
But what you can do is you can perform a help action. So like 2 people are camouflaging, you can actually help someone to give them advantage on that roll.
Yeah, then I'll
As
help
well.
Taryn with that then, yeah. So
Okay.
then that's Taryn's thing.
All right, to camouflage camp, I need some dexterity stealth checks. So Lulin, please make me a dexterity stealth check. Taryn, please make me a dexterity stealth check with advantage.
I think it was Vishara that was doing it, right? Or
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm messed up. Okay, so Beowulf is helping Taryn. Yeah, I got that wrong. Okay, so Vishara, dexterity. So Vishara got a 6. Taryn gets a 23. Okay. Yes, you all kind of combine your efforts together and spend some time gathering some twigs, maybe some grasses in your nicely defendable camp, which you found a nice area kind of dug into the bank of the river, actually. It's flat enough that you can sit comfortably. You're not afraid of, falling in the water or whatever. It's cut in, so you're kind of blocked from view a little bit, as well as it's defendable. And you take some foliage and gather it around, make it quite inconspicuous. You have successfully camouflaged your camp.
amazing.
Further,
We got the best campsite.
so
Awesome.
you have all of the traits for your campsite.
Lulin's concerned about the weather for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So she would like to use her druid magic and predict the weather.
I think while that is happening, Salvatore would like to cast Divine Sense. Just keep the eyes out.
I have something.
Nice.
Ooh, how nice.
It's the 3rd of Eliasis down, so on the 4th. $14. All right, Lulin. So you have Druidcraft, right? That's what you're using?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lulin picks up a piece of grass and puts it in her palm and starts to rotate her other hand around it in a circle, and it starts to glow blue, and then to a clear, and the sphere kind of comes and floats up off her hand and floats in front of her, and then it shows what the weather's going to be.
Okay. You know that within the next 24 hours, the temperature is going to fluctuate a little bit. It'll be nice and comfortable, a little softer on the temperature to as high as kind of like being enough to make you sweat.
Okay.
The wind is going to come from the north in a strong breeze. So large tree branches will move.
Okay.
If you had an umbrella, it might be a little difficult to keep under control, so it's going to be kind of windy. There
Okay.
is no chance of rain.
Okay.
The morning is going to be moderate humidity. The evening is going to be high, so the evening is going to sweat-inducing.
Okay. I'm going to walk over to Taryn and tap him on the shoulder.
My turn.
Taryn, I have the ability to check the weather, and for the next about 24 hours, the temperature is going to be okay, but it's going to get really breezy, and no rain, but it's going to be very, very hot and humid by tomorrow evening. We might need to be mindful about water.
Okay, so it's going to be a summer day in summer.
Yeah,
Thanks, Luland.
sure. Did you find a skunk? Just wondering, for food and stuff.
He looks at her suspiciously.
She just smiles and walks away.
Okay. So during the travel, Vishara was chatting with the other people. I'm going to count that as carousing. So Vishara, could you make me a charisma persuasion check, please? Okay, with a result of an 8. You move around speaking with a number of the refugees. They're definitely in low spirits. Everybody's kind of talking about Elturel's downfall. They are weary, they are frightened. You don't know what happened, they don't know what's going on, they don't know what their life is. Everything's been turned upside down. All the same, they're talking. Which at least tells you there's a little bit of hope. Unfortunately, you do not make any substantial contacts. You don't really learn people's names, but, you kind of move around. They know who you are. You know who some of them are. It's just not a substantial contact. And then Salvatore, Divine Sense. You reach out with your senses to some of your teaching, reading books and scriptures and such, and you don't feel anything fell. You certainly don't feel the same feeling that you did at Elturel's downfall. That's gone and washed away. Everything is just normal now. Nothing celestial or fell or infernal around. Also is no undead.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so anything else anyone wants to do, or do we want to move on to the rest?
So we can move on to...
Okay. And I counted wrong. It's not 4. It was 5 hours of.
I think Leland was about to say something.
Yeah.
Lulan would like to send a message to her mother.
Okay.
Using animal speak, if I can, if there's like a bird or something around that she can.
There's definitely birds around. All right, what message give the bird?
Tell Mom I'm okay. Elturel did collapse and fall into the earth. Tell Mama to pray to the Earth Mother for help for all of us. Can you do that for me? I knew you could. Thank you, my friend.
So,
Okay. Bird hears you. Chirps back in some nice polite bird chirping. Everybody sees Lulin, her mouth moving, suddenly turning into birds chirping. And it's like nothing maybe some of you have ever seen. It's perfectly mimicking the songs of birds. It's actually quite beautiful. Lulin, you hear the bird respond back. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Where's your mother?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. She's in a Dolgown.
Dolgown?
Small hut just outside of Dolgown. Ask all the birds around. They know who I am. They're friends of mine.
Oh, I don't know if I know the name of Dolgown. What direction? I can fly there, and then I'll ask the birds, and I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah. I'm kind of mixed up with where I'm at. It's Dolgown. I think it's in the north.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can do that. I can fly really fast. I'll get there and I don't know how far away it is, but I can definitely get there in a day or maybe a little bit more. You see, birds, we can fly really fast. Have you seen? I'll show you. Yeah. And then he flies up in the air and kind of zooms around a little bit. And as he's zooming around, you actually see a couple of the other birds kind of joining in, and they're doing this aerial acrobatic thing, figure eights and zooming to and fro. And you're all kind of swept away by this thing, wondering what the hell is going on. What the hell did Lulin say to it? But these birds are flying around. You see the flock, and then suddenly they kind of come down, and you see all of the birds kind of congregate, falling on the ground before Lulin. So there's probably 20 or so birds. And then that bird responds back, did you see? You see that? Everybody kind of joined in. Oh, man, that was fun. I love doing that. Oh, yeah, the message.
I loved it. Good job.
I'll get going right away. And then he just takes off.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah.
Salvatore is just sitting there watching in absolute awe and wonder. Wow.
After they leave, she starts to have a little bit of her eyes well up with tears, and a tear kind of goes down her cheek. Okay. Campfire. Yes, campfire.
Oh, sorry. Could Salvatore have seen what was going on from, the campground? Was that happening from, a removed distance? I don't want to...
I was around everybody.
That was, within view of everybody. It was probably a little bit removed just so that the birds would kind of come down and feel comfortable, but all the same, Lulin would have made them feel comfortable once she talked to them.
Okay. Well, Salvatore's gonna mind his own business, but also just like appreciate the wonder that he witnessed as Lubin returns to camp.
And you all also probably notice the woman that you had come to know in the city of Elturel. Her entire demeanor seems to have kind of changed. She definitely seems more comfortable. She's still dealing with the shock of what happened, but she's in more familiar, comfortable territory right now.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to the rest. So we got Taryn, then Lewin, then Salvatore, then Beowulf. It moves on to 8 o'clock night, which is also when the sun sets. So, evening comes. Dusk arrives. In your campsite, you look out over the little bits of branches that you have set up to hide your location. See the beauty of the grasslands of Elturgard, River Chianthar. Everything turns into a deep orange, red, getting into darkness. We begin our watch. As the rest of you fall asleep with the refugees safely in tow, Rhea and Lauren strumming a few very light notes on his lute, which kind of makes everybody sleepy. Aaron, you sense your eyes kind of like a little heavy. Oh, shake yourself. Block it out. Block it out. Okay. Keep an eye out. What's around? What's around? What's around? Please make me a wisdom perception check.
Okay, nice.
23.
You're rolling.
You look around and you hear the water kind of lapping against the stone and the dirt on the shores. Waves pulsing. The wind blowing lightly in the grass. It's kind of cool. It's nice. Warm, but it's a cool evening. Don't see anything that worries you or causes any sense of danger. First hour passes. Please make me another wisdom perception check. This time, the tune seems to have kind of gotten to you. Lauren is still kind of lightly playing on his lute. He seems to be practicing. A little out of tune, but all the same, it is actually a pretty pleasant memory. Or a pretty pleasant melody. And that's when you realize, oh, you're paying way too much attention to the song and your eyes are kind of drifting off, your head bowing a little bit, you're bored. Oh shit. Look around, look around. You don't see anything. There's not a wolf right in front of your face. Nothing, but yeah, that was a close one. Another hour passes, and it's time to wake up Lulin.
All right, Lulin, your go.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Get some sleep.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Lulin.
Yes.
Same for you. Looking out across the grasslands, hearing the lapping of the water. 10 p.m. Now well into the darkness. You see pretty well, though. Looking out, you see all of the blacks and shades of gray. Little tiny bits of white across the horizon. Please make me a wisdom perception check. You can make 4 of them right away.
Oh my gosh, that one.
Ugh.
You wake up to Taryn, hearing. It appears Lauren has fallen asleep because the loot is no longer being. Which is nice. You like the silence, wilderness, or the relative silence. There is still the sounds of the grasslands. Though you much prefer the forest, kind of grow to share an appreciation of these plains. Very simple, and you can see everything. And it gives you a moment of panic when you're like, well, I can see everything, they can see me, but all the same, you look to your bits of foliage covering the camp and gain some solace. Oh, no, we're hidden. Bashara and Taryn took care of it. Yeah, they can't see me. Right. Ooh, looking around. Okay, keep watch. I'm gonna be up for a while. First 3 hours pass. No incident. And then the fourth hour comes. You find yourself leaning on the edge with your elbows out, your head kind of resting on it. You're not tired. This is boring. Keeping watch when nothing's going on takes forever. That's when you hear it. A little bit of heavy breathing off only a short distance away to your right. What do you do?
What is that?
Make me another wisdom perception check.
Yes.
Sounds bestial in nature. About medium size. Pay attention to the breathing. Sounds quite canine. You look over, see a large wolf streaked with gray.
Papa? Papa? Is that you? Papa!
He gets off from his haunches, pads softly towards you. That's when you notice a few more of his pack show up.
What?
Oh, Papa! And Lulin begins to sob and puts her arms around him.
The powerful musk of the wolf starts kind of pervading the little camp you have here. Everyone else, please make me a wisdom perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, Papa. It was so awful. I'm so glad you're
Oh
here.
god.
Oh,
It dropped to 17.
Mm.
I love you so much, Papa. I missed you terribly.
Bishara, while you are sleeping, you suddenly, like, in your dream, kind of broken up a little bit. You find yourself in the throes of wakefulness. Kind of that moment between deep sleep and waking up where you're like sleeping, but you're aware you're sleeping. You smell this powerful musk. Quite unlike anything that you have smelt in the city. It's feral, wild. Do you wake up?
I think she wakes up and she'll sit up slowly and then like look around her to like properly take in her surroundings. And she sees Lulin with this pack of wolves, right?
Yeah. So you wake up and you kind of look around like there's a bit of shock because you're like, what is that? What is that? Is there a wild animal? You look and you see this large wolf streaked with gray with a couple more of a wolf pack close by, all surrounding Lulin on the edge. And for a moment, you're like, oh shit, we're being attacked. You're about to jump up, but then you see they're all kind of excitedly and playfully tumbling on each other. Even though they're like quiet, now that you're awake, you can hear them, but it's not like they're whimpering or whining or anything. The big Papa Wolf reaches out, a thick tongue heavy with his breath. He licks Lulin upon the face a single time with a long-standing lick. She reaches out her arms to embrace the wolf, comfortably supports her.
It was so bad. I miss you so much. I need you. Don't leave me.
I feel like Vishara has a moment, like that moment of panic, where like, oh, we're being attacked, but after she sees that it's not like that, I think she'll just sit and watch.
Okay. Lulin, Papa Wolf reaches down his muzzle underneath your hand, kind of props it up, you know that thing that dogs do?
Yep.
And then he puts his paw up on your throat, kind of where your voice box is, and then stomps the foot on the ground a little bit.
Yeah, I stopped talking for a while. It took me a while to kind of come around. These guys aren't too bad. They're kind of nice. I can't say they're friends like you. They're okay.
Looks over to the campsite, scans around quickly, sees Vishara watching. He freezes, eyes locking onto the woman.
It's okay. She came to help me when I couldn't move and was frozen in the city as it crumbled. She helped save my life.
Vishara just kind of like nervously waits.
The wolf turns its head, looking to Lulin very quickly, almost just a split second, turns to her, then looks back to Vishara, and is going to try to climb down into the campsite. He's got to make an athletics check. Ooh. Rolls a 7. He's looking around to see a good place to actually get into the campsite. Doing that thing, paw up kind of feeling, doesn't see anything. He can't really get in. And then he stops, goes back over to Lulin on the edge, puts a paw up on her voice box again, then stomps the ground and kind of like silently barks.
I'll cast Animal Speak again.
Okay. Lulin, you whisper the verbal components of the spell as well as performing the somatic components. Cast Speak with Animals upon yourself. And that is when Papa Wolf begins speaking to you. I smelled your scent, child. Far away from where you said you were going. Sniffed around. I found the giant hole. Feared the worst. I quickly caught your scent. Followed you here.
I'm so glad, Papa. I need you.
It is good to see you. If you don't mind, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting in. I'd like to sniff this savior of yours.
Yes, come. And she'll help move stuff aside so he can come in.
All right, he's going to make a check with advantage. Oh my god, he rolled worse. Takes him a little bit of time. He's just going to spend an extra 10 minutes or so kind of lowering himself in and everything. You move the stuff around. Hips certainly aren't like they used to.
Yeah.
Then he comes in, and Vishara, you see this large, old, grizzled wolf who you cannot help but feel the striking of fear. You see this large creature start approaching you. But all the same, he moves softly, and you get the sense that it is not threatening or fearful in any way. He approaches softly and gets right up next to you, lowers his muzzle to the ground, keeping eye contact on you the entire time, moving slowly. His muzzle on the ground, he seems to wait expectantly. What do you do?
As he approaches, Vishara doesn't an inch and is looking between the wolf and Lulu and going back and forth between the two, and then when he stops in front of her and does that, she does one more back and forth and questioningly starts to reach her hand.
As you reach your hand out, it seems to be exactly the cue that the wolf was waiting. He raises his muzzle slowly, sniffs your hand powerfully. Then gives it a lick. Turns to look right at Lulin, and then looks right back at you in the eyes again. This time he performs a bow, his front legs bowing down as his shoulders touch the earth, and then gets up again. He looks around to the rest of the camp, sniffs here and there, gets a scent of everyone in the party, and then goes back to the outskirts. Climbs out a lot easier than the way that he got in. Turns back to you, Lulin. I like that one. Very kind, polite.
Yeah. I think she understands. I think she's had some trauma too.
Oh?
Yeah, I just have a sense. She had a panic attack when we got through the gate. Even though I wasn't speaking yet, I was able to calm her just by being with her, and I think we have an understanding between us. She's very kind.
Well, I have your sense now.
Yeah.
Do you wish for me to tag along, or do you want to continue going on your own? I must say, I'd much rather be around. You seem in need.
I I would love if you would be here. Oh, to curl up with you and sleep. Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Papa.
All right. I'll make sure to be far enough away in the morning that I do not frighten them. You could greet me and welcome me. Don't want to cause any issues. Humans, they are quite a frightful bunch in all of my experiences. I must go talk to my tribe, my pack.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Tell everyone I said hello.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
And then
I love you, Papa.
I love you too, little one.
Mm,
So glad you're okay.
yeah.
All right, I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
And then he moves in to touch his nose upon yours. And then turns around, pads away. You see all the wolves in the pack kind of off the way, interacting with each other. And after a short little while, you see one other wolf, another large, strong-looking one, kind of move up in front of the others. And you see them perform a alpha progression. That larger wolf pins Papa Wolf on the ground,
What?
puts his mouth over the shagginess of his neck. Papa Wolf allows it. Shortly after, they all get up. The other wolves sniff around. The new alpha is done. Papa Wolf looks extremely proud
Aww.
and watches as his pack travels away.
Whoa.
Papa. I always thought he might be the one to succeed you. Oh my goodness.
Papa
What a night.
sits on the ground, a nice comfortable distance away, but far enough that, it's not threatening. Lays there, head on his feet, patiently waiting. All right. As the night goes on, your final hour is up, Luke. And you are in very high spirits. You're back in the wilds where you belong. You have Papa Wolf back. Seems that he's going to be with you for quite some time now. He has succeeded his pack. And though you highly suspect if in need they would be available, Papa Wolf is on his own, but not alone, for it is time to wake up Salvatore.
Okay.
I think before she goes to bed, Vishara has just been Vishara just watched all of this go down. This large wolf came up and sniffed her, and then everybody else, and then got into a fight with another wolf, and then came back. And she's just looking at Lulin, and Lulin is within 10 feet of her, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's kind of not thinking right now, or not really thinking about what she's doing. And so Lulin, but doesn't see her mouth move, but Vishara just says, "That was nuts. You do that?"
You just talk to animals?
And Lulin telepathically as well.
All right, Lulin. Oddly enough, you hear Vishara's voice, but it's kind of weird. It's warbling. It's almost like she's right next to you, but she's 10 feet away. You turn around and her mouth isn't moving, but you hear her voice.
I smile at her. I'm just beaming, like in a glow. I'm so happy. And I say, of course. I'm an elf. And I grew up in the forest. I lived in the forest. He saved me. He was the one that was there the night we were attacked.
That's great.
That makes more sense, I suppose. I was kind of first, but then your lack of a heightened response kind of made everything was okay. Everything is okay, yes?
Yes. He's here to protect us. It's okay. He just wanted to know everyone's scent. And he thinks you are a good egg. He likes you. And did you notice that he bowed to you?
I did. That was. I'm gonna have to say weird.
To you, yes. But it was his way of showing respect and gratitude for you saving my life.
Well, I will try my best to be able to him as well.
Great. Thank you. We might have to tell everyone in the morning if you could help me. I don't want anyone to attack him. He's going to be on the outskirts all the time. And if I need him, I know he'll come.
Oh no, I can help with that for sure.
Okay. I'll try to explain it to everyone. Okay.
Maybe we mentioned before they see him, and then it's not as much of a surprise if he comes up to them.
Yes. Yes. I have to wake up Salvatore now, and I thought I'd tell him about it just in case he sees Papa Wolf. And
Okay, well, I'm gonna get some more sleep.
yeah, you do that. I'll see ya.
And Bashara will go back to bed.
All right. I do have something to apologize for. Beowulf, I completely forgot that you had trance.
Oh, I forgot I had trance too.
Yeah.
Beowulf.
Yeah. Without completely redoing the entire interaction, we'll just say like, you're like up after this hour. And then whenever
I wouldn't have cared either way.
Okay. Yeah, and then so you wouldn't have made that check with disadvantage either because trance allows you to kind of like perceive normally.
Huh, didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You retain consciousness during the trance. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
interesting.
meditating. Yeah. So like if I ask for perception checks while you're asleep, normally when you're asleep you're unconscious, so you make it with disadvantage, but like if you have trance you would make it normally. Just in future reference.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So
Lulin wakes up Salvatore.
okay.
Salvatore.
Do I share this next interaction with Beowulf, or
Beowulf would be asleep for your hour because your hour is 7 and Beowulf is 8.
okay?
However,
just want to make sure.
you could wake Beowulf up, or he's not sleeping actually. He's completely conscious. Beowulf would probably be up and moving around. He's just not keeping watch.
Yeah.
So he's up during this. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting, Lulin. Go for it.
Salvatore. Wake up. Wake up. Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Hi. It's time.
Good morning.
For
Good night.
Yeah.
What time is it?
around 7.
Oh. Okay.
Can you? I have something.
3 o'clock a.m. Sorry.
3.
Yep, 3
I
a.m.
have something to tell you. Don't be alarmed.
Alright,
There is
okay.
a wolf.
Alright.
There's a wolf.
I just like immediately grabbed the hilt of my blade.
No.
No.
Friend.
Okay. Friend.
Papa Wolf. He's laying just outside camp.
Who's Papa Wolf? Okay.
Papa Wolf protected me when my father and I were attacked. I'll tell you another time.
Okay.
But he is my dearest and most wonderful friend. He's going to be with us along the journey, and he's just outside of camp.
So Salvatore's kind of like coming in and out of consciousness as he's interpreting this information and kind of like gripping the hilt of his sword harder and softer as he hears Leland communicate this information to him, and starts to like sit up a little bit and goes, all right, Leland. Are we under attack or not? I'm sorry, I gotta shake the sleep off.
No attack. Wolf, friend.
Wolf, friend. Okay, alright.
Yeah.
There's a friendly wolf.
Yes.
I got you.
Just by our camp.
Wolf have a name?
Papa Wolf.
Can I just call it Papa?
Yes, I do all the time.
Okay, cool. And it knows that I'm your friend.
Yes, while you were asleep, he came into the camp and smelled every one of you. He knows who you are.
Okay, so we're cool, and will it be easy for me to tell between that wolf and other wolves that maybe aren't friendly?
Papa Wolf will let us know. But he comes with a pack, and if we're in need, the pack will probably come too.
In the pack and the Papa are in accord with each other?
Yeah. So, like, if we were in trouble, if we needed help, the pack would come.
Okay. Well, then, I trust you. So, thank you.
Yeah.
And, do you need anything before I take watch? Can I?
No, could you tell Beowulf so that he doesn't get freaked out? And I'm gonna go and meditate.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just like, Salvatore will extend his left hand and in a fist, in like a fist bump gesture to Lulin and say, "All right, tap out."
And she's very awkward.
And then I go, "You take your fist, any one, and then you tap it against my fist, and then you go, see you in the morning, and you bump it against mine."
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Cool. I got you.
Yeah.
Sleep tight.
Okay.
And then Salvatore scans the perimeter, looking for Beowulf. Is it clear that I can see Beowulf from where I'm at?
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot of room. There's a lot of people here. There's like 15 or so refugees, as well as the 6 of you, and then Rhea and Lauren. So it's not like super cramped. You found a decent space, but everybody's really close to each other.
Okay. I'm gonna raise my voice just loud enough for Beowulf to hear, or so I hope, and say, rather than that, I'm just gonna make my way over to Beowulf, and nudge him on the shoulder with my elbow and say, "Hey, I don't actually think we've actually exchanged names or pleasantries to date. But my name is Salvatore. It's a pleasure to meet you. I just found out some very interesting things, and I've been awake for a total of 2 minutes, I think. And I know you're looking out for the group, and I would like to know your name, and then I'd like to tell you the things that I learned. Now it's your turn.
All right. My name's Beowulf. As we already have kind of gone through hell together, I mean, we kind of know each other, so yeah.
Well, we kind of know each other, but we don't know each other's names. That's my point.
Yeah. Forgive me. I'm not exactly the social type. Rarely talk to people like you. So
That's fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
Beowulf.
enough. It's very nice to meet you finally, Beowulf, officially. I will say, I was just informed that we have a wolf pack that is looking out for us, which is very cool, very nice. Not good backup. But I will also say that I'm here to relieve you. Maybe.
All
Look
right,
out for the group.
All right. I'll take that in a note.
And I just have a quick question for you. This is not the time for social gatherings or getting to know each other, because we all want a good night's sleep. But I gotta know, how'd you end up here?
Well, you see, I'm a flaming fist. I was sent here to help guard Ravengard. You know.
Get the hell out of here! You were commissioned to go protect Ravengard?
Yeah, part of his guard detail. Very nice.
So Salvatore immediately whips his backpack off and digs back into just punches into his backpack and rips the note out of his hand. He's like, do you recognize this seal? Do you recognize this handwriting? And he shows Beowulf the letter that he showed Terran earlier that has the adventure Boy Scout style write-in campaign. And he's like, you see this? Does this look like the writing that you're familiar with for this organization? Does this? And he shoves it towards him.
Yeah. That looks familiar. Yeah. That's a pretty nice thing you got there.
You think it's nice? Thank you. He takes that totally crumpled piece of paper and just shoves it back in his pocket. I knew it was something. Anyway, I didn't mean to make that about me. Beowulf, you see anything out here that I need to be worried about or prepared for?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything yet, but I'll let you know if I see anything.
Is there any way I can help you keep an eye out?
I mean, your eyes are good enough, I believe.
Well, I'll tell you something. I know how to move things that are heavy. I know how to fight things. And sometimes I can heal things. But looking for things, I'm not very good at that. So I kind of rely on others. If you've got any tips or tricks, I'm all ears.
Well, I'm not really one for teaching things, but if I think of anything, I can let you know and help you improve at some point.
Mind if I shadow you a little bit? Just try and pick up things here and there?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I appreciate that. And then, Salvatore extends his right hand in a clenched fist towards Beowulf and says, I'll watch you if you watch me. And, like, gestures for the fist bump.
Beowulf is gonna kind of give him a fist bump and say, all right, I'll keep watch over you then.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you, Salvatore.
It's nice to meet you too, Beowulf.
Okay. Could both of you please make me a wisdom perception check twice? Last 2 hours. You both
Roll better
witness.
than him.
You both witness as Lulin exits the camp, climbing out, moves off a short distance away north, lies down on the grasses. Beowulf, you happen to kind of get up over the little barrier a little bit to see what's going on, and you see a wolf. Lulin is laying on the ground next to it.
Kind of interesting. Beowulf is kind of just gonna just watch the two of them for just a little while to see if anything happens.
The wolf is laying upon the ground, not moving. Might be resting a little bit. Lulin just curls up in a ball. And you see the wolf kind of raise its head looking at her, and then they're both kind of curling like two wolves on the ground now. She's embraced with the other one. She has her arms wrapped around him. She appears to be completely safe and very comfortable.
Beowulf is kind of just going to give a smile and then, pretty much believing that she's safe, start keeping an eye out elsewhere.
Looking out across the plains, you see the deepness of night start to give way. Lighter sky. For the first hour, the second hour, Salvatore, you get a little bit distracted. Beowulf still looking around. Salvatore, you find yourself looking over at Beowulf, kind of studying him, scanning him. You look over to a lot of the other party, studying and scanning, seeing the mass of Elturian refugees that you have found yourself along with. Oh shoot, that's right, you're supposed to be keeping watch. Beowulf seems to be doing. Whatever. Looking around.
Scared me a little bit there. Okay.
Yeah. Looking around, you're kind of taking in everything that's happened. And you find your mind drifting into kind of a waking daydream, thinking about everything, remembering all that happened in Elturel. Finally, 4 o'clock in the morning. Sunrise comes. And you and quite a few of the other party members that are congregated here, kind of stirring and waking up. Rhea's actually up before the sunrise, polishing her armor as best as she can, putting it back on, doing this and that. Refugees are all rather asleep. Some light snoring. They all definitely needed some rest, and they are taking full advantage of it. Lauren, snoring away. His lute curled up inside of him as his legs are kind of pulled up into a fetal position by it. He's got a weird way of snoring. It's like kind of light and nasally. And then when the when the breath comes out, it's like a little like wet whistle or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's... But he's fast asleep. And then the sunrise comes and everybody stirs awake. This is where we will end our session.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely took a little long, just kind of going over the rules and everything. But I really enjoy this travel activity stuff. I really enjoy the camp stuff. I think it provides a really good framework to actually performing travel. Kind of gives you a lot of information so that you're like when to do what and what you can do and everything. So I hope you guys like that part. So what we can do is we can keep doing this where we do traveling for all of the days that you're going to Baldur's Gate, or we could fast travel, skip ahead to Baldur's Gate and get started on the actual campaign. Completely up to you guys. If we're doing the travel, it's more of this. We did not roll a encounter for this session because I did not roll one, but there is the potential for random encounters happening along the way. And then it just gives a little bit more time until the session starts. I'm hoping to get to Baldur's Gate next session, but if we do the travel, it's very realistic that we might not next session. So it all depends on what you guys want to do. Don't have to give me an answer now. Maybe by the end of the week, I'll put like a vote in the Discord and then you can let me know. For now, the last call is sounding. Thank you so much for being here with us, for listening to our tale as we share it around the tavern campfire. I hope you have a full mug, whatever you're drinking. Hopefully it's something good, some nice strong mead, or perhaps a summer shandy, or maybe just water, for those of you that are looking after your health. Yeah, so I run this campaign, Descent into Avernus, basically every other Wednesday, playing intermittently every week when possible, when it makes sense. My work schedule doesn't allow every single week, unfortunately. But yeah, so tune in at 9 p.m. Central Time. We play for 3 hours. We welcome you to join in and watch with us and talk with some of the party. I also am going to be starting another campaign, taking the Lost Mine of Fendelver campaign group, which they have completed that, taking them through the Tomb of Annihilation. They are joining in at level 6, so we're going to have a much shorter, condensed introduction, taking them into the Ruins of Omu. So if you know anything about that campaign, some exciting stuff happening very fast. Very good group over there as well. Interesting party. A lot of fun, interesting, cool things going on there. Make sure to tune in to that. I'm looking to start early September, and that campaign is held on Sundays, every other Sunday at 9 p.m. Central, playing for 3 hours as well. Come talk with us in the Discord. Join the Discord. Follow me on Twitter. I got a Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. Click on the links, follow the links, subscribe. YouTube's for free. Otherwise, just tune in, hang out, come see what's going on, talk with the party members, talk with myself. Let's play some D&D together. Let's get you some games. Let's play some fun games, looking for resources, advice, or even just spitting out ideas, just liking to talk about stuff. I'd love to have you. Thank you so much for your support, your viewership. I hope you had a good time. But the last call is sounding, and the adventurers are ready to start streaming out of the tavern. Thank you so much for being here with us and listening. As the last call sounds out, it is time to leave. Go ahead and tip those mugs back and finish what you're drinking. This has been the Tavern League.